Is it scary out here? For a guy who doesn't come from this kind of environment, how do you feel? Do you feel safe?
There are times when I do. I guess when your mind is off of it. I'm a veteran. I served 2 tours in Iraq, so I have PTSD, and there's something that kind of comes along with that, and it's hypervigilance. This having to. So that's something that it's kind of exhausting for me here. It's pretty terrible to have to constantly feel on guard and on edge. I mean, there are a lot of fights. There's always dogs barking, people coming through, and just last week we had a guy that was right next to our tent that OD'd, and he passed away.
Welcome to another episode of Modern America. We're following up on the same interview with Wendy Carlson at the Jungle in Olympia. She's running for city council. And we're pretty excited to be out here with her, introducing her to a portion of the population that is often overlooked and ignored. We're talking to John, who has been living out here for a short period of time. And this one for me is pretty meaningful because with the 3 folks that we're talking to this afternoon, they're people who probably wouldn't be considered as encampment residents. And I just think it's really important. And I think it's pretty, it's kind of the way that the world works, right? Is that we're delivered the things that we're supposed to engage with. And so I think that these are the people that you're supposed to talk to today. And so, let me just ask you too, while we're sitting here, how are you feeling so far this afternoon with just our interactions out here?
Well, I always find when I find myself in places like this that it's like it's life-changing for me, because I never, I don't just walk into the jungle and say, hey, I'm here to talk. So for me to be in places
Are you judging me? I'm just kidding.
I
am. There's been a couple things that I've done while running, going out to Olympia Correctional Facility.
Yeah.
Like there are things that I've been able to do running for city council for me that are life-changing for me, whether it's my perception, whether it's my narrative in my own head, whether, I've heard or read or whatever, I've made my own judgments because we're all human. And so for me to be able to, I drove by here a lot and made my own judgments in my own head. And so, so for me to be able to sit here today and, talk to these people and just be here, I think it's really good for people to kind of push themselves out of their little, bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm very appreciative that you guys are willing to sit down and talk to us.
So we're talking to John today, and I really kind of pressed on John to talk to us because he has a unique story that's probably not as unique as it's going to seem when people hear it. But I think that, and maybe I said that wrong, but when people do hear this, I think that they're going to be kind of surprised. Like, what? Like, that doesn't seem like a person that would be living in an encampment. And so, John, I just wonder if you'd talk a little bit about how you ended up here.
Well, I've been here for about 2 months. I've been homeless for about 6. Mainly, I'm kind of displaced because I'm going through divorce. I was married for 23 years, and when we separated, she kind of needed all the money that we had to get started. So, so I'm just right now. It's just a matter of not being able to get employment. I work in IT. I just can't get work right now because I'm here and can't get a computer and regular access, and I don't have a vehicle to get to work and all that. So.
What about shelters, John?
I did stay at the Olympia Union Goddess Militia for a few months, but there's a lot of issues there that I had to leave. They infestations and MRSA and stuff.
Bed bugs, MRSA.
Yes, lovely stuff. And it's
lice.
Yeah, and it's a tough place to be. It is. It's just, it's pretty compact. They fit a lot of people into that room, and we're just right next to each other, laying on top of each other almost. Sometimes literally they roll over on you. So.
How close are the mats?
They touch. And it's
And
just a yoga mat that you lay on a concrete floor.
And well, when you were there, and it's no value judgment toward the shelter, toward the gospel mission, but when you were there, what kind of things did they offer you to help you get on your feet?
Absolutely nothing for me. I don't have any drug issues.
So
So
you're
the
not an
only
addict.
not at all.
You're not an alcoholic.
No.
So how did you end up in the jungle? Because the jungle here in Thurston County is notorious for being the encampment for the massive major addicts.
That's certainly not the case for everybody. Yeah, not that I have about 9 people on my camp, and none of us are drug addicts.
None of you guys. So how did you guys end up here?
Well, a lot of us kind of met at the mission, and we kind of had to leave there for different reasons. But, we kind of, as people started to come out here and set up camp, I was one of the first ones. I did about 2-3 months ago. We let other people know that it was. It's weird to say, but there are some aspects where this is better than the mission. I was at the mission over Christmas, and they wake you up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we just have to stand outside for a couple hours while they clean up, and then you come in and eat, and then you stand outside. So we were outside. You're outside for several hours a day, just sitting in the cold. So here, at least we can go into the tent or have somewhere to go. But at 4 o'clock in the morning downtown, we have nowhere. So it's just aspects that are better out here. But honestly, if the mission were a little bit better place, I would rather be indoors.
Is it scary out here? For a guy who doesn't come from this kind of environment, how do you feel? Do you feel safe?
There are times when I do. I guess when your mind is off of it. I'm a veteran. I served 2 tours in Iraq, so I have PTSD, and there's something that kind of comes along with that, and it's hypervigilance. This having to. So that's something that it's kind of exhausting for me here. It's pretty terrible to have to constantly feel on guard and on edge. I mean, there are a lot of fights. There's always dogs barking, people coming through. And just last week, we had a guy that was right next to our tent that OD'd, and he passed away. So those are things that we're just, it's almost becoming a norm. And that to me is tough to accept.
Yeah.
Like I was just walking through here sometimes, you just look around and you're like, wow, I can't believe I have to live like this.
You're a veteran, you said. So what about vet services? Because, Washington State, I do believe, weren't we on a mission to make sure that all veterans were going to be housed and not homeless like a decade ago? I mean, I know I served a lot of veterans that were on the streets because I worked in social services in Seattle. And so how plentiful are the veteran services here in Olympia?
I signed up for services to get on a waiting list to get assistance 6 months ago. And what I was told then is to check in with them every 3 months.
And have you checked in with them every 3 months?
Yeah.
And what kind of progress has been made?
I've been passed around a few times, but I haven't heard anything, and I've asked for how long I should expect to wait, and they haven't given me any details. But the one thing that I have been told is that they call it a heat score. I don't know what it means.
It's like a VI Spidet score for, yes.
How vulnerable you are and how
that was
urgent your
my
need
next
for housing
question.
is. I saw it coming.
It's like you know me or something.
Mine's really low.
What's your score?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I know it's really low because I'm not an IV drug user, and
you don't have mental illness aside from
I do have
PTSD.
PTSD.
You have PTSD, but
yeah, I'm not. No drug.
No crime.
No abuse
no criminal history.
No, so it's.
So you don't qualify for what they can offer you.
Right.
So you're screwed.
That's one way to put it, yeah.
Yeah. Wendy, and how does that, as a potential public servant, does that change your perspective? Does that have an impact on your perspective, what you would have considered somebody like John would have available to him? Or where is that for you, sort of on your Richter scale?
Shocked and surprised that someone like you wouldn't be able to go get services, help, like a leg up, because it sounds like you have, employment. You could have employment opportunities, and it sounds like you might just need first and lasts or some help, like that kind of stuff. And
right.
It's, take the council side out of it. Just as a community member, it's shocking to me that you wouldn't be able to get some help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mean, I'm not even running as a city council person, as just a community member. I've always said, if you get one person to treatment out of 10, then that's a win for the day. And it would be the same for you if you get one person back, living in an apartment, and being a productive person in the community, that's a win, So, I really think that we as a council and a community need to, I mean, I don't want to say you're easy, but you're easy.
Should be.
Yeah,
Should be easy.
It should be easy because, I don't have to convince
Where is the merit-based allotment of support when an individual is just down on their luck and needs a little bit of a hand up?
Exactly.
Because I can tell you that I have a friend who works for the state. I will not talk about which department for the state she works in, but she ended up sick with cancer, and though showed up for work as she was fighting that cancer, and it's actually come back again, they fell behind a little bit on their bills because she had to then, make more payments for her cancer treatments. And there was no place she could go. She was turned down over and over and over again because she did not meet vulnerability requirements to get the supports that were in place. Because we have focused everything on the population that needs to be served.
I mean, I think that's the majority of the population. I mean, I think, we've all, seen it, heard it, witnessed, the drug population is most of the homeless.
Well, the squeakiest wheel gets the grease.
Right. But people like you, it's kind of shocking that it's like, oh, check off. Oh, that was easy. We got him a place.
As a veteran.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. That's another, as a veteran and someone who, I don't have, or someone like Ginny doesn't have to say, hey, let's get you into treatment, and then treatment to, like the Oxford House,
Well, he wouldn't even qualify to go into clean and sober housing because he's not an addict.
That's why
I thought about lying
that's
about
why
it
it's
just
so
to do it.
Easy.
It's,
right.
You're like, and I hate to even use that word easy, but it's like first and last, and maybe, a place to be able to, submit your resume and get you an IT job, whether it's working, at a computer shop. I don't know, that's an easy box to check. And I hate to use the word easy, but, lack of a better word.
What do you want your local politicians to know?
I don't know. I guess I'm encouraged that you're bold enough to come out here. That's, I guess it just, I feel like that the only way for me to get help is for me to get so bad that I might not recover from it. And that to me seems like if you help me out.
So you mean like becoming a drug addict?
Yeah, I'd have to be,
Have you pondered that? And that was going to be a
becoming
question.
one? No, I never become it. Yeah.
So and let me ask you this, because there are a lot of narratives, which I know to be false, but as a person without addiction who's ended up in homelessness, because it does occur, obviously, I think that the percentages are lower than what is communicated on a narrative scale in our current society. But do you feel like your potential for becoming a drug addict is higher because now you're homeless? Do you suspect that homelessness actually creates addiction?
I think that's an obvious yes. Yeah, I'm around it all the time. So yeah, it's the I mean, I guess the desire to sort of just go, I just want to check out mentally. That's
so it's attractive.
That sounds nice sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I'm
why
not,
have you not?
I'm morally just opposed to it, and I've seen people go through it, and I don't.
You're not really interested in the life that you see around you?
And we're seeing people die out here from it. So it's
it's not attractive.
No, it's not. It's not.
I mean, maybe back in the day when Coke was good and like, but I mean, now it's just like straight to fentanyl. It's like probably crapshoot on continuing to exist, right?
Right.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I appreciate your transparency. I really do. And thank you for making the decision to talk to us.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for each other?
Well, the same question I asked Purple, like, what if you could say something to a politician, local, state, what would you say to them? What would you want them to know?
I'd say let's focus less on how much money we're giving to the problem and on whether and what actually is making a difference. And actually, I don't know, just use some metrics. How many people are actually being taken out of homeless camps? It feels like it's a success when we say, well, we gave an extra $100,000 this year or millions in this field, but that's a success apparently. We've just given extra money, and that's obviously it's nonsense. That doesn't make any sense at all. And I think we should have metrics that say these are our goals. We're actually trying to get people out of these camps.
Have you had any service providers come out here and ask you about your circumstances, find out if you have kids, try to help you address some of your lowest hanging fruit needs, like getting a job or having access to technology so you can apply for some stuff?
Yeah, I know you're not a service provider, but no, you're the first person that's asked me about it.
For your specific circumstance, what would you want a local politician to hear?
I guess I feel invisible, so I don't know.
I mean, that's a powerful statement right there. I think that you feel invisible.
I think we all do.
Did you have an expectation that because you served your country and honorably discharged, I'm guessing?
Yes.
That there would be something for you if you were ever in need?
I guess I didn't have an expectation, but maybe I just understood that if I ever fell in hard times, it would never get this bad. I never thought that this could happen.
How do you feel how do you feel right now toward, the military, toward the federal government, toward your local government, when there's literally nothing for a guy that's not annihilating his life, but is down on his luck?
Again, I don't have expectations. It just seems like
It seems like it would be kind of an automatic response.
yeah, and my kids kind of say the same thing. They're kind of astonished that I'm still in this situation. I'm honorably discharged, a combat veteran, and I can't get any help. So,
Well, I'm gonna reach out to some of my friends, and please get a hold of me so that I know how to get a hold of you. And I don't know what it's gonna turn into, but I work with a guy who supports veterans across the whole entire country, and so let's see what we can figure out.
great.
Okay.
I thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you.
Take care.
I'll be back out here again.
Yeah.
Hopefully I won't see you again.
Yes.